I got hold of Messi and Ronaldo and I turned them back to 16-year-olds. But I've also trapped them in the Vanarama National League. And they have 20 years to see who can take their club the furthest.
I like it.
So will it be York City and Lionel Messi? Or Dagenham and Redbridge with Cristiano Ronaldo?
Here we go.
First season and neither side is promoted. Surprising. York finished higher in 5th place to Dagenham's 8th, and neither player scored that many goals this season. Ronaldo had the 2nd highest average rating and Messi with the most assists. Ronaldo also had the joint highest man of the matches with 12. Messi played every game from the right-hand side and scored 21 goals and assisted 20. Ronaldo played most games up front but 10 out on the wing, scoring 32 goals in total and assisting 9. In the matches against each other, they both scored 2 goals, but Messi's York won the 2 games. Season 2, though, was very different, with Dagenham and Redbridge going up as champions and Ronaldo scoring 15 more goals than anyone else in the league, getting the highest average rating and the most man of the matches, with Lionel Messi getting the most assists. Heartbreak for Messi and York as well, as they played in the playoff final and lost on penalties. And Messi didn't even take one because he had already been taken off. What? A year later, and another playoff final defeat, this time after extra time for Lionel Messi and his team York. York also finished 1 point behind Bromley, and Messi was atop of all of the good player statistics. Ronaldo and his team managed to finish in the playoffs in their first season, and like York, they got to the final as well, and Ronaldo scored his penalty for AFC Wimbledon, where they were still victorious in promotion. Probably would have been a lot better if they didn't play Ronaldo from the left all season, and for the fact that he broke his leg in training and was out for 4 months. I'm not being funny, but that was in training, so I would sack whoever it was who tackled them.
We cannot replace him. We cannot.
Messi played all 43 games from the right-hand side and 47 goal involvements in total. Finally, a year later, and York are promoted as champions, with Messi aged 19. But Dagenham and Redbridge are not quite using Ronaldo correctly. He doesn't have the physicals to be a winger, and they've dropped down to mid-table. It was smiles all round in season number 5, as both York and Dagenham are promoted in 2nd and 3rd place, with both players featuring in the player statistics. The only thing I changed was their age, by the way, and Ronaldo's current ability is almost what it was at the start, which means Lionel Messi's is still a lot higher. Alright then, let's go on to the 5 seasons. Okay, so a 2032. Let's check up on Lionel Messi first. So it does look like he's roughly the same attribute, 184. So he's gained a little bit now that he is kind of reaching his age peak once again of 25. But where are York? Let's find out. They're in the championship, so we're going to have to track and see how that has happened. He's also captain, as we can see there. But is Dagenham and Redbridge there is what I want to know. I cannot see them. So York at the minute is higher, unless Dagenham and Redbridge have managed to get to the Premier League. But I guess we'll find out that in a second. Lionel Messi, 24 goals behind Paul McPherson there, 27, the highest average rating. So is he now playing up front, I wonder? Let's see. No, he's still playing from that right-hand side, and he's even played a game there from centre mid. So he's still getting 24 goals from that position. Let's go down a league. Are we going to see Dagenham and Redbridge in Sky Bet League 1? Plymouth just won it. That's fantastic for me. Dagenham and Redbridge, there they are in the playoffs. How did they get on in the playoffs? Did they reach the final? They didn't. We would have seen that. So they were eliminated from the final by Charlton. So that's unfortunate. Oh, Wayne Brown is the manager. Cristiano is also their captain, hilariously. So that's quite funny. Now, Ronaldo had the most goals in the league, only with 22, not too much. He also had the 3rd highest average rating. We've got a guy here who seems like he's assisting him quite a lot, but he's not exactly getting a lot of the man of the match trophies. I'm wondering whether he's just not developing. Oh, he is a little bit. 158, I think it might be roughly the same as what we started off with. But physically, he's not really developed as much as what I thought he would get to. I thought putting back to 16, maybe his physicals would bump up again, but that's not really the case now that he is age 26, where they're still playing him from the left-hand side. It's stupid, isn't it? Because he seems like when he plays as a striker, he does score so many more goals. So Dagenham and Redbridge, what's the journey been for them? Can we see that? So we can see here, that is as far as they got. So when they were promoted in 3rd place, they have finished in 10th place, 13th place, 18th, and that what we've just seen in 4th place is the highest finish that they have had. What about when we had a promotion for York? When did they get promoted? So this was the season before. York is nowhere there. So they were promoted in 2nd place 3 seasons ago, 2 seasons ago. So York have done quite well. They finished in 2nd place there. They had 2 seasons in League 1 before that, 16th and 18th, then jumped up to 2nd, massive from them, and finished 9th in the Championship in their 1st season, 12th in the Championship in their 2nd. This has also been Lionel Messi's best season goals-wise for a long time, especially if you count the assists as well. We had a good season, the 3rd season there in League 1, the one before they got promoted, 24 goals there with a good average rating as well. What about Ronaldo? Has he still been like kind of not really scoring that many goals? Have they been giving him a chance? He's still getting a good amount of goals. Like every single time it's double figures. 12 there is probably the lowest, but nowhere near the amount of assists that Lionel Messi is getting. But that is probably because he doesn't really have the attributes for it. He's a striker, just an out-and-out striker, isn't he? You can't really do that with only 11 dribbling, which we know when Ronaldo was 26, his dribbling was nowhere near 11. It was closer to 20 than it was 11, and his passing of 12, I think that's quite harsh. They've obviously front-loaded a lot of the striker attributes, and they're not using him as a striker. Okay, the year's 2037 now, another 5 years into the future. We've got 5 years left after this, and York are still in the Championship. You can see Lionel Messi has the highest average rating there, but he's not involved in anything else other than the most amount of matches, which he actually had double. 2nd place. York, though, they're still in 12th. I cannot see Dagenham or Redbridge in here. Maybe they're in the Premier League. We can take a look, I guess. I cannot see them also in the Premier League. So we'll go back a couple. Maybe they are still in League 1. I would like to have seen Ronaldo. Oh, I can see Ronaldo's there. So they are still in League 1. They're in 8th place there. I wonder whether they have been promoted at all. Have they managed it? They have. Okay, then they finished in 2nd place in the 2032-33 season. They went up 19th place and then were relegated down in 22nd, which is unfortunate. 4th place finished last season. Obviously couldn't do much in the playoffs there. Scott Brown is their manager. Ronaldo, how are you looking now, my friend? Age 31. Okay, dribbling's gone down even further, which is kind of hilarious. We were around about 158. He's still up, 159. So he's still there. They're just padding out other things like leadership and stuff, which is kind of irrelevant, I guess. And yep, they are still playing him on that left-hand side, which does still baffle me. Even though he is playing some games up front, I guess, but it's nowhere near what I'd expect. I'd just be playing him up there and just seeing, just chucking balls into the box. I think if I managed this, it would be a lot better. Age 30, Lionel Messi, 188 current ability, so that has gone up quite a bit. This is what you would kind of expect. There's so many 20s. This is what Lionel Messi looked like quite often with those two as 21st touch and dribbling. This is probably why York have done better, because he's dominating, obviously, those attributes, and he's playing quite well season on season. I would like to have seen him. He's playing majority of his games there from the right, 15 goals, 10 assists. If he played in like this role, a shadow striker, that's kind of, if I was managing, that's what I would have done. And if I did play a striker, obviously, if you can get the ball to him, he's gonna score you a lot of goals, obviously. But York, what have you been doing in the 5 years that we have been gone? They stayed up, but it doesn't look like they've done anything. The 12th place where we left them, they went down to 20th, 15th, 18th, 12th, and that's when they finished in 12th place again this season. So they're kind of stagnating. They're just happy to be Championship clubs. Okay, so we're gonna go the full distance of 20 years into this experiment, but make sure if you haven't done so already that you are subscribed so you do not miss the next experiment that we do. Well, age 35, we have Lionel Messi here in his final days at York FC. So, age 35, he still looks quite good, doesn't he? We'll quickly check to see his details. 173. That's not too bad. Let's check Ronaldo before we have a look at how they've done. So again, his final days, he's getting worse and worse in the dribbling department, but other attributes have increased by the looks of things, and he is still at 159, so he's roughly just stayed the same, never got any better, which is a shame. It would be nice to have seen him at his peak of 200, and seen both, to be honest, at the peak of 200. But where is Dagenham and Redbridge? How far did they get? They're in the Championship. They're in the Championship. Right, okay. Willie Sagno is the manager. Okay, don't panic. How have they done in the Championship? Let's see. We've had 5 seasons since. York are here as well in 8th place. Dagenham and Redbridge in 19th. York are in 8th. That's interesting. Now, if we go to Dagenham Redbridge, we can see their history. They were promoted as champions 2 seasons ago, and they went to 7th, which I think is the highest so far. The only thing that would stop this is if Messi's York finished higher than 7th at some point. I think they might have. Right, okay. How high have we finished? 9th, 12th, 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 11th, 12th, 14th. Oh, wow. Okay, so in total, the highest point was Dagenham Redbridge and Cristiano Ronaldo in the championship in 7th place, which we can see is the season before here. Let's take a look right here. 7th place. That's the highest that we have seen any of the clubs. However, York have been in the championship for a lot longer period and finished as high as 9th. So I think I'll let you decide who had the better career. I mean, goals-wise, we can see Messi's has dropped off somewhat. He even had a 10 and 10 there, which is nowhere near as good as what he was getting in some of the seasons, and he probably was still playing on that right-hand side every single year. But what about Ronaldo? Has he had like a wild goal tally? Because I guess if he has, then you kind of have to give him the win here. Not really. Does look like Messi has scored more, but again, he was playing on that left-hand side. Oh, he was playing as a striker. They finally seen sense. They realised he's no good on the wing. They finally put him as a striker right at the end of his career, when it was pretty much too late for him to actually become a good striker. He's just way too slow. Good attributes in mentals and technicals, but nowhere near on the physicals. So yeah, I feel bad for him, really not really being utilized properly. So what's your thinking here? Who had the better career simulation in your opinion? Let me know down in the comment section, and why not check out this video where I give the Scottish Premiership a big whopping TV deal so everybody became rich, and see what happens.